if there's a lack of ambulances within the area, dispatch will notify the commanders, and at that point in time, their job, of course, is to make sure that there is coverage and will move vehicles around. What's happened greatly in the past few years is that we get a critical status that comes in, and that's happening now, and it's increasing, I would say, weekly, to the fact that we'll get 2 or 3 notices during the day shift and maybe 1 or 2 during a night shift.
Wow.
Where we have a critical status, and it's not for a few minutes, it may be lasting up to hours at a time. And that being said, that's when the ambulance will go into the local hospital, whether it be St. Mary's Memorial, Stratford General, or even Listowel Memorial, and the paramedics are put on call at that point in time in the hospital setting, where they'll turn around and they'll have to take care of that patient because they haven't been turned over to the nurses staff at the hospital at that point in time. So that puts our ambulance out of service, and that is, as I said, has been increasing in the past few years. So.
How do you keep the patient calm when you're sort of in the midst of all that stress and worry and thinking about all these different things?
Smoke and mirrors. It's all an illusion. Seriously, it really is. You have to, on the outside, be focused and calm and organized, and on the inside, yeah, you are running 1,000 scenarios in your head, but that's what training does. That's what working with your partner does. We actually are very lucky in most Ontario services to have a partner equally as trained as you, or sometimes more trained, that you're together and you run that call together. And if one person's mind goes one way and you're thinking another, you can bounce ideas off each other and think, are we maybe missing something here? So it really does help having a partner. Well, the first and foremost thing you have to do is make them feel that you are capable and in control and ready to treat their problem as their emergency. It is for them an emergency, and you need to ascertain what you need to do about it and what information you need to gather before you scoop them up and take them to the hospital. I mean, sometimes they really just want your opinion. Should they even go to the hospital? Well, we can do that, but ultimately our job is to take you to the hospital. But we have to quickly, as efficiently as possible, get the core details, what their health is at that moment, what their needs are at that moment, how the heck we're going to get them out of the house and to the hospital in a safe manner, which hospital to go to. Used to just be you went to the closest hospital. Now there's hospitals that specialize in various things. If you're having a stroke in Perth County, up in Listowel, you're not necessarily going to go to you're not necessarily going to be taken to the Listowel hospital. You're going to be taken to the hospital that's most appropriate for that stroke, and in most cases it's Stratford.
So what has Perth County Paramedic Services put in place to address issues with PTSD for its employees?
We have a peer support team in place. We have somebody on our staff is on call 24/7. They can be reached right to their personal cell phone. We have lots of resources in the community that we refer people to. We also have a buddy list that our management has if they're seeing behaviors a little bit off at work, or they know that employees had a really terrible call. They might follow up with the buddy if they could check in on them.
What causes PTSD with paramedics? Is it a specific incident? It could be any number of things.
It can be like a specific call, if it's traumatic, or it could trigger you in a way that it strikes a chord with something personal going on in your life at the time, or it could be just due to cumulative stress over time, just kind of like a caregiver burnout, where you're just continually seeing pain and suffering and always giving, and some call might just be the tip of the iceberg for you.
Why is it important to have this peer support team active, I guess, with the paramedic service here?
I guess as much as our management team and employees of paramedics get along and work well together, there's still a divide because they're your managers and your supervisors. So we just felt it was important that you had a peer to go to. You wouldn't be judged. Your management doesn't have to know about it. Somebody that can probably relate on some level, because they're doing the same job. They've probably had a similar experience, and they're trained to listen and offer resources and support.
During the day, the most important thing to do is make sure that you are fed and watered at all times, because you are not sure when you're going to get called. So if you think you have to go to the bathroom in the next 10 minutes, go now. If you think that you may be hungry in the next hour, throw a granola bar in your pocket, or go eat something right now. It's not that it's, oh gee, it's noon, we get to eat. We never get to eat at noon. It could be 3, it could be 11:30, it could be noon, and that would be great. But other people's emergencies apparently do not follow a schedule, so you've got to make sure you're ready at all times.